Hey everyone, welcome to the Karchermakes podcast. This is where I like to talk about all the things I'm making, want to make, have made. I'm Andrea. I like to do all the crafty things there are: knitting, spinning, weaving, crochet, you name it, I love it. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about all of the Advent makes. There's a lot of them. All the Advent makes. So this is the time of year, P.S., 36 days till Christmas, little over a month. Santa's coming. He'll be here soon. So this is the time of year that a lot of yarn dyers come out with their Advent sets, and I love an Advent set. I've talked about in previous episodes. I love mini skeins, love a set, love a kit. So this is my Super Bowl. This is my time of year for knitting and crocheting and making. I have a few Advents coming. Most of them are here. I'm still waiting for one more. It's already shipped. It's coming later this week, hopefully. But not sure what I'm making yet with them. Maybe that'll be a different episode. Some plans for all of these Advent sets that are coming. But for today's episode, I just really want to talk about things that I've already made from prior year sets. And when I say Advent set, that's what a lot of the yarn dyers call them. They're also called countdown sets, mini sets. There's ones for just December countdown, winter solstice countdown, New Year's Eve countdown, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. They really run the gamut. And I don't really get hung up too much on the actual label and the religious connotation of it. I just, you know, love a mini set and I love making, and you put those two things together and you can come up with some really cool stuff. So I have a lot of things to share here, all prior makes that I've made. And keep in mind that although some of these projects aren't necessarily intended for Advent sets, like you don't need a countdown set to make these. You can use scraps, you can use full skeins, use less colors. It doesn't have to be 24, 25 different colors. You're the boss of your knitting. Make what you love, make what you will wear, and do what you need to do. And I don't know who said boss of your knitting, by the way. I think it was Stephen West, but I also heard it on the Mean Girls podcast with Rebecca. Somebody said it. I love it. I need the tattoo on my arm. So let's talk about some fun makes that I've done. Again, some of these were just mini skein scraps. Some were actual Advent sets, and I can go through that. So first up is, and I have my notes over here, so I need to keep an eye on those. So let's talk about what I'm wearing first. Let's do that. Let me move this pile out of the way. So first up is, this is called the Advent wrap, and let me just kind of stand up and give you guys a better view of it. This is the Advent wrap by Iris H, and the pattern's on Ravelry. It is a paid pattern, so I don't want to go into too many details about it. But basically, it's a Ruana style. I believe that's how you say that. So it's two rectangles seamed together halfway up the back, and it makes like a little jacket type cardigan situation. And for this one, I used Rising Tide Fiber Company's Advent that she had last year. It was a book theme, and all the names were really fun, bookish names, but very nice jewel tone colors here. And what the wrap does is it interchanges a couple different stitch patterns. One of them is this little flower type stitch. Hopefully you can see that. Not a whole lot of fun to make that stitch, but I think it added so much to the garment that I really love how it turned out. So yeah, this is the Advent wrap. Like I said, it is a paid pattern. I used all 24, 25 colors that came in that Advent set, and really love it. You pop it over a shirt. Looks nice. I wore it to Maryland Sheep and Wool last year, so if you saw me in this, hi, good to see you again. So let's talk about what's next. Next up is, this is the Snark-o-Meter by Casapinka. And if you're familiar with Casapinka, she comes out with a free pattern every year that goes to local yarn stores, and if you buy the yarn there, you get the pattern for free that day only. And she has a lot of fun patterns. Go check her out. Now this is a good example of one that wasn't necessarily an advent kit, but I used mini skeins, many skeins, including a set, to make this. And I picked all sort of Christmassy colors, pinks, reds, greens, to do this. The yarn is from, it's two different kinds. It's crabapple yarns, which I'm not sure she dyes anymore. And also some of these are Knitty and Color. I know she's slow dyeing, but I just saw on her Instagram, I think yesterday or the day before, she was posting some more yarns. So that's very exciting to me, that Knitty and Color is dyeing again. So just a little story time. Knitty and Color is the first hand-dyed skein I ever bought at my first Maryland Sheep and Wool in 2015, 16. First one, I was in love. It was love at first sight. Like, my life changed, and I have Knitty and Color to thank for it. So yeah, this is Snark-o-Meter from Casapinka, and this is why I love this pattern, okay? Look at all of these different stitches. Like, it starts here. Actually, I think it started at this end. It started here with like a little ribby type pattern, goes into some of these like little bobblies, some chevrons, some slip stitches, some lace, some of these fun crossovers. And yeah, it just keeps going. All different kinds of stitch patterns. Really a good pattern if you're a newer knitter and you want to learn some techniques. Highly recommend. Can't say enough good things about her writing style and her designs. Really good. So yeah, that's Snark-o-Meter. This is easily adaptable to 24, 25 colors. I think I used 8, 10, something like that. But yeah, that's our Snark-o-Meter. So up next is, this is the and I always get this wrong, so I have to look. Just Feel Cozy Wrap by Caleisha Ryan. And this is also a Rising Tide Fiber Company advent set. This was the one from 2021. It was Bridgerton themed. So yeah, this is actually crochet pattern, and it's this fun little asymmetrical chevron going on. And I think the pattern was actually written for DK weight. Again, you're the boss of your knitting. You can hold 2 strands of fingering together and make DK weight. You can adjust the stitch count as long as it evens up with the actual stitch design. I did fingering for this one, but it could very easily be adapted to any yarn weight that you have available. And yeah, again, I used all 24 colors. I'm pretty sure I'm doing these. I did these in order that I opened them in the advent. But yeah, this is super fun little wrap. Caleisha's great. She also hosts the Quirky Monday podcast, and I'm hoping she comes out with some new episodes as the holidays start, because she's obsessed with the Grinch, and it's super fun. So yeah, this is the Just Feel Cozy Wrap, Caleisha Ryan. Love it. Okay, up next, and some of these have very similar names, so again, I need to look at my notes. So this is the Adventuresome wrap by Ambah O'Brien, and if you're familiar with Ambah's work, you know she comes out with different patterns every year for this time of year, Advent skeins specifically. I've done a couple here. I think I have a few of hers, but this is a advent set from Cat Sandwich Fibers. Her yarn is so fun, and it's so speckly and so bright. Variegated super fun. These are not done in any particular order. I just kind of made them into like a little fade here. But yeah, this is one of those patterns. So it's again, it's like a rectangle wrap, and it's the kind that just has like a section. It's this little garter ribby section followed by this lace, and then you just repeat it over and over and over again. So you get to the end. So that's fun. She has all kinds of patterns. So like if you're not into like wraps or shawls, she did one year, she did a sweater. She's done blankets, I think, cowls, scarves, like it runs the gamut. So yeah, this is super fun. I love the colors in this. I love cat sandwich fibers. They're dyeing style. So yeah, that is the Adventuresome wrap by Ambah O'Brien. I have not looked yet to see what she came out with this year. I imagine it's amazing as usual. Up next, this is the Adventuresome Pullover. See, same name. All has Advent in it. I know it's cute, but same name. So this is the Adventuresome Pullover by Corrine Walcher, who I actually know in real life. She's one of my real life knitty friends. And the yarn for this one is Bumblebee Acres. Now, I had several of their Advent kits and then also a ton of their little mini skein sets. So I just kind of combined them all together to make this. And let me try to get back some. So yeah, this is a fun, I just did some striping here for the body. I did not try to match the sleeves to the body because their Advent sets are 10 grams each, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough. So instead of matching the sleeves to the body, I just matched the sleeves to one another, and they sort of-ish line up with one another. And this pattern's fun. It's a raglan top-down pullover, you know, kind of standard fare there, but just like the socks I showed last week, when you go to change the colors, you do like a little purl row, and it just adds this nice little texture. And because I changed colors at different intervals depending on how much yarn I had left, like they're very uneven sort of stripes, which I'm here for. I love it. And it fits great, great fit. Also, speaking of Bumblebee Acres, this is their Coquette base, which is a 75% Corriedale, 25% nylon base, which is probably my favorite base of any yarn dyer ever. Love it. It's a little bit more, I don't want to say rustic because it's not scratchy or rustic at all, but it's toothier. Like, does that make sense? It's toothier. It has like a little bit of texture to it, and it's a woolly texture, but not scratchy at all. And I love this base. I love this base. I wish everybody had it, but I love this base. So yeah, that's the Adventuresome Pullover by Corrine Walcher. Oh, okay. Up next, speaking of Bumblebee Acres. So again, I had 3 years worth of Advents from them, plus tons of mini skein sets. So I also made their Myriad of Minis Cowl pattern. And the pattern's by Samantha Troia, who is one of the Bumblebees, Sam B. We love her. And so for the leftovers, I had, this is like 68 different colors, by the way. Again, numerous Advent sets, numerous mini sets, and this is just like a really fun infinity scarf slash cowl. I make them long because I like them to wrap around a couple times, and you get all these glorious colors. And again, they're in no particular order. I just kind of picked them up and striped them together however I felt like doing at the time, and I just really love how it turned out. It's really great. Really fun. And again, this is the Coquette base, which is super cozy, super amazing. Very warm. Very, very warm. So yeah, that's that. And For this last pattern, again, this isn't, it's not an advent pattern, it's not a countdown pattern, it's just a pattern that, you know, you can add millions of different colors to. And everyone, I feel like, has made this. It's the Memory Blanket by Georgie Nicolson. And I know there's a million different versions of this blanket out there. I just picked that one because I started this maybe a year after I learned how to knit, and it was the first one that came up. So, but this has a lot of different, this does have advents in it, and just scraps from friends, from swaps, from trades, just so many different yarns in this. And it's really easily adaptable to any sort of mini skein sets. So hopefully this gives you some really good ideas for what to make with your advent sets, with your scraps, with, you know, any sort of like little leftovers you have laying around. All of these projects are great for that. Try not to get hung up on the fact that it's like advent and it has to be advent and it has to be 24 skeins. It doesn't. It can be 10, it can be 12, it can be 3, whatever you have available. Do it. It's beautiful. Wear it and love it. So one more project that I want to show. This is actually an advent work in progress, and this has been a work in progress for a really long time. Like 2021, I think I started this. So this is an advent from Rising Tide Fiber Company. It was a candy and treats theme, like a dessert theme one. And this is the Adventuring wrap, also from Ambah O'Brien. And this one is, it's a side to side sort of rectangle where the other ones were going this way, this one's going this way. But it's a fun garter stitch eyelet shawl wrap situation. And I'm actually almost done this. I should just sit down and finish it. That's really what I need to do. I only have 3 colors left, so I don't know why I haven't done that yet. 23, 24, and 25. So yeah, Rising Tide Fiber Company, an advent from 3 years ago. It'll get done at some point. So for my socks of the day, I'll insert a little clip here. They are from Kirby Wirby Yarn Company Designs, Kirby Wirby. She does really fun self-striping, and this was from 2020, I think. It was a Schitt's Creek advent theme, and each day, each stripe was a different quote from the show. I love that show. It's hysterical. I watched the whole thing, and then I need to go back and watch it again. But each day was a quote from the show, and I think these are just really fun. I do have a yarn skein coming this year, an advent skein from Freckled Whimsy. And like I said, I'll do a separate video on my advents that came and what I think I might want to do with them. So 2 of the advents that are coming, they aren't, like, they're themed, but I don't think they're going to be gradients or like cohesive skeins, if you will. So I think for those, I'm going to wait to open them first and then figure out what I want to do with them. I have a whole list of patterns that are in a bundle on Ravelry. And like I said, I'll do another quick video and kind of talk about like what those are. But I can't wait to get all these. It's going to be so fun. Haven't decided what I'm doing with those yet. And maybe I'll wait until I open all of them to then decide what to make with them. But I will be doing the Freckled Whimsy socks for sure. That's going to happen. So that's it. That's the list. These are all the projects that I've made out of Advent yarns. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Maybe you found a project or a pattern that you'd like to make. And if you can, leave a little comment below. Tell me about your favorite Advent or mini skein or Scrappy pattern. I'm always looking for inspiration. Like I said, I have more Advents coming. Really need some help in narrowing down what I should make with them. So if you could do that, that would be great. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you could subscribe, that would be great too. And until next time, happy making.